Welcome into Duval Daily, presented by GenJag.com. I'm Jordan DeLugo. Thank you so much for tuning in here on Tuesday, October 22nd. Jaguars coming off of a much-needed win over the New England Patriots in London. Right now, we're going to look at 5 reasons as the Jaguars get into this stretch run of the 2024 NFL campaign to believe in the Jags. And look, we will get into 5 reasons as well not to believe in the Jaguars later today or tomorrow. But I wanted to, this isn't just to spew optimism and be a sunshine pump or whatever you want to call it. This is 5 legitimate reasons, maybe a bonus one, that you could have a little bit of confidence in the Jaguars right now, right? Again, we will get into reasons not to believe in the Jaguars, which I still think there are many. I just want to kind of provide both sides of this for Jags fans, again, as the Jags enter what is the most crucial stretch of their season. Over the past 4 games, even though they're still just 2-2, they are 2-1 in the last 3, but 2-2 over the last 4. Over the past 4 games, I think the Jaguars have been playing better football overall. And while we sit here and talk about the negatives constantly, we've been doing that this year, there are plenty of good things going on too. And that's what we're going to talk about here on this show. So 5 reasons to believe in the Jacksonville Jaguars, still at 2-5. Yeah. Record ain't pretty. But look, the AFC is still wide open when it comes to the wild card. It absolutely is. And that's another reason to consider here. But we're going to get into 5 reasons plus a bonus one to believe in the Jags. And really appreciate y'all tuning in. If you enjoy the content, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You can also check out genjag.com/shop, pick up some new Duval gear, become a channel member here on YouTube. So reason number 5 for me, the defensive front and the run defense are very, very good. And while pass defense hadn't been great, I think there are signs that it could improve. Mainly getting Tyson Campbell back, right? But the defensive front, you talk about how well Trayvon Walker's playing. And yes, we've compared him to Aiden Hutchinson on this channel. He gets compared to Aiden Hutchinson constantly in the national media. And regardless of that debate, which is a fair debate, Jags had the number 1 overall pick. Regardless of that debate, Trayvon Walker is playing good football. He is. There's no question about it. He has kind of put it together this year so far. And he took steps in the right direction last year. He was always going to take a little bit longer to get it going as a pass rusher from a development standpoint. We've talked about that. He's close to the top of the league in sacks right now. He is run defending at an extremely high level. And we've talked about it here. What makes him so difficult to deal with is his physical attributes are insane. His length, his athleticism, his power, his flexibility at his size, his quickness, his feet. His go-to move is the bull rush. And now he is showing the ability to not only use that bull rush to also counter off of it. And that's making him extremely difficult to deal with as a pass rusher. And as a run defender, he can set the edge. He can chase. He's doing it at a very high level. Josh Hines-Allen is playing very well. Despite not having the gaudy numbers, he is creating pressure. He is playing good run defense. And he's a guy that offenses like Trayvon Walker, they have to give extra attention to one of those guys, because if you don't, they can wreck the game for you. Eric Armstead coming off his best game of the season. Look, he didn't play football before the start of the regular season all offseason. He was rehabbing. So it was reasonable to expect it to take a little bit longer for him. And then you've got the fact that playing a lot on the edge, which I still think is baffling, but played a little bit more interior this past week, got it going a bit. If you can get Trayvon Walker, Josh Hines-Allen, and Eric Armstead on the field in these clear pass rush situations, that's great. Then you talk about the run defense. The Jaguars' run defense has been really, really strong all year, whether it's the defensive front, and you're now seeing Devon Hamilton kind of round back into form a little bit more. He had a great day against the run this past week. And of course, that was against a porous Patriots offensive line. But Devon Hamilton, you're seeing some flashes. The linebackers against the run have been mostly fantastic. You see busts here and there every once in a while. Guess what? You see that around the entire league. No team is perfect. No run defense is perfect. But overall, the Jaguars' run defense has been very strong. And Ventrell Miller's been a big part of that. Devin Lloyd has been a big part of that. Chad Muma's been a big part of that. Foye Oluokun, when he's been healthy, has also. And I think the secondary is also doing a good job tackling overall. So you look at those aspects of the defense and you feel really good about the front. You feel good about the run defense. And now Tyson Campbell is back. He's going to help you a lot. I think he helped a lot against the Patriots. Almost got an interception, played pretty locked down. Jarian Jones played more this past week. And Doug Peterson talked about that being kind of situational with the Patriots being 11 personnel a lot. Getting Jarian Jones out there to be a coverage player and having Darnell Savage at safety. He said if the Jaguars are in dime more, you would probably see more Antonio Johnson at safety and Savage at nickel. But the fact that the Jaguars have, the ability to kind of switch it up now on the back end and play their best matchups, maybe that can help them moving forward, right? So I think there are reasons to believe on the defensive side of the ball. Pass coverage got to keep improving, and they did improve a bit this past week, but it was against the worst offense in the league. They had a horrible showing against the Chicago Bears the week before without Tyson Campbell. At 4, the offensive line has gotten really, really good all of a sudden. Like, they're playing very good football across the board on the offensive line. Cam Robinson went down with a concussion. He is in the concussion protocol. Walker Little comes in and very physical in the run game. See him being able to work to the second level and throws up a clean slate in pass protection. Ezra Cleveland, a player who was fairly maligned throughout the offseason. People didn't understand why the Jaguars brought him back. Guess what? Playing very good football, both as a pass protector and in the run game. He's one of those guys that has been really physical, especially at the second level, helping the running backs score touchdowns in some occasions, like Tank Bigsby did a couple weeks ago. So I think that Ezra Cleveland's been fantastic. Mitch Morse, that stabilizing presence in the interior of the offensive line for the Jaguars, that's been huge for them. Brandon Sheriff, still not getting push in the run game from a power perspective, but in pass protection, getting out in space, Sheriff is still doing a very good job. And then Anton Harrison, who did struggle a lot early on and didn't play great against the Bears. You look at 3 of his last 4 games, he's either pitched a shutout or only given up 1 pressure. So he's doing a much better job as well. The offensive line is starting to gel. They're starting to play better. They're starting to play as a unit a lot more, both in pass protection and in the run game. And so that's going to help out this offense and this team in a big way. I have no doubt about that. Do want to talk to y'all about Underdog Fantasy, right? I play best ball over there, pick 'em a whole lot more. Like, this app is unbelievably easy to use. All you got to do, go check out the Underdog app or go to underdogfantasy.com, and you got to check them out for best ball and pick 'em. Like, if you think Trevor Lawrence, you think he's going to go over 236.5 passing yards against the Packers? Maybe you don't. Either way, pick 'em, right? Maybe you have confidence in one of the Packers receivers scoring a touchdown. Check out Pick'em on Underdog. Use code Duval Daily. Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash Pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you use code Duval Daily. It's also currently Boosttober on Underdog, where there's a promo to play nearly every single day. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code Duval Daily to claim your new customer special of a free pick and your deposit offer. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus Alabama, Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona. Present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP, 1-800-639-8783, or text NEXT STEP to 53342. Call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Now, beyond the defensive front, the run defense, the return of Tyson Campbell, and the offensive line playing well. And when you have both lines of scrimmage playing good football, that really helps the football team play well as a whole. Kind of sets the tone across the board. The skill position talent on offense is showing out. It feels like they were really missing Evan Ingram in a big way for his ability to kind of open things up for everyone else, his ability to eat over the middle of the field, intermediate, short. He's playing really, really well for them. And so is Brian Thomas Jr. Christian Kirk is playing better football in recent weeks. BTJ's ability to space the field as well helps everyone else. It's like these guys feed off of each other. And then you talk about Tank Bigsby running like a man possessed. It's a lot to get excited about with the skill position talent. Reason number 2, working our way down here, they are getting healthy at the right time. Tyson Campbell, again, is back, and he looked fully healthy. Darnell Savage, back. Been back for a couple of weeks now. Whether he's playing nickel or safety or combination of both, he can help you out. Evan Ingram is back. He's been back the last couple of weeks, and he has really helped the Jaguars offense out. Foye Oluokun and Andrew Wingard could return to practice this week. Doug Peterson talked about that yesterday, so that would be absolutely huge for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Number 1, and then we'll get to a bonus one as well. But Trevor Lawrence, the quarterback, he's balling out operationally, like just from a getting the play in, being able to read the defense, being able to find the right place on the field to attack. It's working for Trevor right now. And the pocket presence, the pocket movement, the feel in the pocket looks a lot better than it did the first few weeks. He's able to step up. He's able to avoid pressure. He's able to play make and take off with his legs when he needs to. He's always been really good at the quarterback sneak. I don't know why they don't do that more, but you saw that work in this game. His deep passing has been best in the league, quite frankly. Like, he is, again, for the second straight year, just been unbelievable throwing the deep ball. You've seen some drops, you've seen some errors, but he has 9 big time throws of 20 plus yards and only 1 turnover worthy play in that category. And the Jaguars are getting better using that play action to help get guys free and get Trevor Lawrence feeling it and attack the deep area of the field. So that's been great. Again, the playmaking has been fantastic. It's all been there the last 3 games. And of course, one of those games was against the Colts, a team he always shreds. He did really well against the Bears. A lot of drops in that football game and other issues that happened, fumbles. And then very good game this past week, efficient game against the New England Patriots. So I think Trevor Lawrence is playing like the guy you expected to see all year. Took a little while. I think that the offensive line gelling, the receivers playing better, having a full complement of receivers, all those things were kind of impact in the running game as well. Tank Bigsby getting it going. All those things are kind of helping Trevor Lawrence now versus hurting him more often than not over the last 3 weeks. Now the bonus thing, and it's the obvious one, like this is kind of what the Jaguars do under Doug Peterson, right? This is a football team that has been extremely streaky. And I'm not advocating for that being okay. I don't think it's okay. I think it's a big problem. Like, you cannot be a team that just lives on streaks, lives on being able to win 6 games when you need to. Is it great that you've shown the ability to do that? Yeah, but you also need to show the ability to play more consistently when you're not on one of those streaks, which they haven't been able to do at all. But the Jaguars are currently 2-5. They have an absolute gauntlet over their next 5 weeks. If they're able to win 2 or 3 of those football games, there's no reason to believe that they couldn't go on one of those runs down the stretch. Because again, after the next 4 against NFC teams, you have Houston, which is a team that, yeah, tough team, but a team you can go toe-to-toe with. You've seen it the last 2 years. You have 2 games against the Titans, not a very good football team. You have another game against the Colts, a team that your offense has a pretty good time going up against, and probably not going to be playing Joe Flacco next time, who has just been a Jaguar killer the last couple of years. And then you also talk about the Jets and Raiders. Neither of those teams is looking great. So this is kind of what the Jaguars do. If they're able to tread water over the next 4 weeks against these NFC opponents, I would honestly predict that they would go and probably make it close to making the playoffs. Do I think they can tread water against those teams? We'll talk about that in the 5 reasons not to believe in the Jaguars. But this is what the Jaguars do. If they tread water over the next couple weeks and they're at 2-5 right now, after the NFC slate, these 4 games against the Packers, Eagles, Lions, and Vikings, if after that stretch they are sitting at 4-8, if they're sitting at 5-7, I would not be surprised at all if they're able to make the playoffs and go on a run. I think that's going to be much easier said than done to get to that point, because winning against any of these teams is going to be very difficult. It absolutely is. And I said 5-7 just now. That's obviously not right. The Jaguars are currently 2-5, 4 games. So if they're sitting at 4-7 or 5-6 after this run against these NFC teams, that would be huge for them. And that back 6 games, again, 2 against the Titans, Jets, Raiders, Colts, and Texans, that looks like, and I even said this before the season started, that looks like an area of the schedule where the Jaguars could get hot. And they're going to need to. They absolutely are going to need to. Save jobs, potentially. We'll see how it all ends up playing out. But those are my 5 reasons to believe in the Jaguars. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you enjoy the content, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You can also check out jinjag.com/shop, pick up some new Duval gear, become a channel member here on YouTube. Y'all have a good one.